Gears 5 is the fifth main installment in the Gears of War series. The main series consists of third-person shooters centered around the Coalition of Ordered Governments, or the COG, and the rest of humanity fighting off a reptilian hominid species known as the Locust Horde. Kait Diaz is a member of the COG who first appeared in Gears of War 4. At the end of that game, Kait Diaz's dying mother hands her a necklace bearing the insignia of the Locust Queen, Mira, revealing the existence of a mysterious connection between Kait's family and the Locust Horde. Kait hides this revelation from the rest of her group, and in Gears 5, she is haunted by nightmares, headaches, and twisted visions that the rest of the COG cannot see, though she tries to fulfill her duties despite them. Ramin Djawadi, known for his music for the Game of Thrones and Westworld television series, began writing music for the Gears of War franchise with Gears of War 4, and continued on to Gears 5. Djawadi wrote a character theme for Kait for Gears 5, and it weaves her struggle between her humanity and her mysterious connection to the Locust into the music. Kait's theme starts off with a droning E minor and a cello soloist that plays with the three notes of the E minor chord, E, G, and B, later adding A, and then a startling F sharp. This F sharp rubs right against the G natural of the E minor chord, and that rub lingers for a few seconds before the F sharp eventually settles into an E natural, realigning itself with the chord underneath. We can relate this back to Kait's nightmares or her conflict between her COG loyalty and her Locust connection. After this, the piece sticks with the E minor chord a little longer, then finally breaks out of it into a C major chord, then an A major chord. This A major chord doesn't diatonically belong in the key of E minor. It's borrowed from the parallel major key E major. It's almost like Kait trying to settle and reclaim the memory of her mother as a positive instead of associating it with the evil of the Locust Horde. After that A major chord, we actually end up on a C minor chord. The melodic line lands on E flat for a brief moment before settling to an E natural, turning the chord into a C major chord. So in just these few seconds, we've had a chord shared from E major and a conflict between C minor and C major. Remember, Kait's trying to live her life as she was, but these headaches and visions and nightmares and the overall sense of unknown disrupt her attempts to do this. She wants to go away from these thoughts to her normal life, and the music wants to go from C minor to C major. After this, C major goes to A minor, and then we get the same melodic idea. But this time, the E flat grates right against an E natural, before settling into an octave E. The lower E jumps down to an F sharp for another rub, and then we get the same C minor to C major idea as before. This time, however, the lower C then jumps down to C sharp. Now we're introducing some creepy chromaticism into the mix, like Kait's destiny being intertwined with the Locust no matter how much she tries to run from it. This piano section ends on a B chord without a third. Remember, the third of a chord can dictate whether a chord is major or minor, so without it, we have no clue. It's like Kait wrestles with these demons, but little progress is made and little resolution comes of it. After this piano section comes a section that's a bit more aggressive. Some pounding percussion is added in, and strings take over. A repeating pattern is formed, and the harmony lives in E minor. After this pattern is established, we get some melody, and it harkens back to the previous sections. The music gets more and more intense, and then the melodic material we heard in the piano section comes back. So we get this sense of adrenaline from this section, like going into combat, but those lingering thoughts Kait has still come into play. Her headaches continue even when she's on a mission, and she sees these crazy, grim visions while on the job. No matter how much action is going on, she carries it with her. The music builds up more and more, and then we get a very horrid sound, almost like a locust screech, bringing us to a pretty dismal section of music. We then get what I think is the most intense section so far. Percussion becomes more active, and we get similar melodic material as before, but it's pulsed, so instead of long notes, we get shorter repeating notes, and this section leads us out. Ramin Djawadi uses harmonic mixture to musically represent Kait's inner battle. She's conflicted between her cog loyalty and loyalty to humanity as a whole, and her unknown link with the Locust enemies. Djawadi employs techniques like harsh rubs between notes and fluctuation between C minor and C major. Actually, I think a different, pretty famous theme of his does the same thing. That'll do it for this analysis. Thanks for watching, and take care.